I've known Pembroke since 1965 when I came, actually slightly earlier when I was a student not at Pembroke. So it's changed enormously. I always say when people ask me this, the most significant thing was the admission of women. Now people might think this is rather like going back into the Middle Ages, but it wasn't, of course. Pembroke only accepted women in 1979. And then other things which are, I think, part of how Oxford has changed, so has Pembroke. More graduates, more fellows, and a greater diversity of subjects. That's another one, and a greater diversity actually among the students.
Well, like any other college, it still uses the tutorial system. And as I go around other universities, I think the thing that strikes me is the huge contrast between learning a subject and churning it out, and actually using the subject to start to think.
So on the one hand, they become extremely self-confident because they have, direct access to academics, and therefore they feel that they're being taken important, and they get direct feedback on the progress of their work, and they know how well they're doing in relation to other students and so on and so forth. But then also they have to defend their ideas and communicate their ideas, and that's, I think, extremely important in their future professional lives.
The benefits of tutorial teaching to research shouldn't be understated. One of the things I think that tutorial teaching disciplines you to is, first of all, thinking about how to present both what you find in terms of research information, but also the way that you think about doing research to an intelligent audience which is in the process of developing their own academic skills.
We may not like it, we may disapprove of it, that's another issue, but the simple fact is the government are not going to pay the fees. And actually, even more importantly than that, I could live with a kid taking out a £9,000 a year loan just to pay for the fees. But then when you've got maintenance on top of that, when you've got living expenses, I think it is potentially a serious deterrent for kids from my background. And an alumnus who believes that he or she got something worthwhile out of this college and believes in some form of social justice, who believes in Oxford actually helping with social justice, then they can help people like me.
I know personally I'm less than halfway through my course, and I'm already incredibly grateful for everything that Pembroke's done for me, all the opportunities it's provided.
Just wait for Christchurch to get off their high horse. Pembroke's great because there's a really friendly feel to the whole place. There's a lot of things going on all the time. I think it's quite an inclusive college as well, so you can get involved in anything if you want to.
If I could describe Pembroke in one sentence, it would be that it's a lovely, small, tight-knit community, and everyone just gets on really well, and that's the best thing about Pembroke.
And I think the college looks after the graduates as well. Something that the master does at the start of every year is have a 5-minute interview. I say interview, it's more like a friendly chat with every single individual person in the postgraduate community, which is a lot of people. But he manages to do it, and I think it's really important that he does, because it means that he can have that personal link with everyone.
Obviously Pembroke's in the middle of a really exciting phase at the moment, with the new build, things like that, definitely getting bigger, getting better. It's something which everyone's behind.
When the new build is complete, for the first time we will have proper academic facilities within the college. We'll have lecture theatres, we'll have seminar rooms, we'll have the cafe. We're creating environments where people are going to hopefully enjoy working. And we now have really quite ambitious plans of what we'd like to do academically for the future. So if we can just make it through, get the new build up and running, get all of that happening, and then, as I say, we can then deal with putting in more things for graduates, getting the research up and running, and really start making Pembroke the place where slowly, bit by bit, you'll hear these news stories coming out of something happening. You say, oh, that's at Pembroke.
Everyone who has studied in my subject area in Pembroke in my time has carried away with them an enthusiasm for the subject. I mean, I feel surely there'd be one or two cases where we've managed to kill the enthusiasm stone dead, but hopefully that's been very rare. And I hope that people feel that the experience that they had here in terms both of their engagement with the subject that they studied, but also in terms of the way that they developed and grew themselves, is something that they would like to see extended to future generations.
And I think what now I feel looking at it is, I suppose, some sort of excitement and perhaps some nostalgia. Would like to see how it goes.